Okay, we're live.
Hey. Yeah,
How are you, Rachel?
Happy Saturday, everyone. I'm good. How are you?
Happy Saturday, everyone. It's like today's like I like today. I like today's Saturday. My mom and I went on a 3-hour walk this morning.
All right.
She likes to do like a big push on the weekend.
Did you go anywhere interesting?
Well, we go on the Berkeley Fire Trail, which I'm sure Shira knows, because she lives very close to me here in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beautiful. It's all like trail and into the hills, and just it's great to be around trees and not in my house. So that's lovely.
Yeah. I did not go on a 3-hour walk today. So I do. I sat here today.
Getting creative.
Yeah. And I started dinner, and that's about it.
Awesome. What are you making for dinner tonight?
I am making lamb stew. But I was like in a hurry. I was like, I gotta do it. So I just like threw everything in the pot. I'm like, hope it's good.
I want some lamb stew. That sounds great. Are you a good cook?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. I started doing more like keto style lately because I'm actually not really supposed to eat like wheat, a lot of things with a lot of carbs in them. So the whole point of keto is like those carbs. Other things with a lot of carbs in them, like beans, wheat, actually give me a stomach ache. So we're gonna try this. So it's like lamb meat, mushrooms, onions, garlic, and celery, and then tomatoes.
Nice.
Let's see how it turns out.
I have a soft spot for. I just love anything lamb. My mom loves to make lamb shanks. It's like her guilty pleasure, or not so guilty pleasure. So like grill them up and stick them in the oven, and they're so good.
Yeah, I'm good with lamb chops. My dad's Greek actually, so I'm part Greek.
Lovely. Shall we create with some Greek beads today?
Yes, I'm very excited.
How was that for transition? But even with all that lamb, I've been like cooking way more vegetarian. I mean, I started during last year when I was doing like serious meal prep, and it's just for budgeting and it's good for the environment and just whatnot. Like
it's a lot faster too. You don't have to make sure it's cooked.
And I can make like
it's a little crunchy. It's fine.
And I can make a huge batch of something, like a huge batch of like a chickpea curry or something like that. Amazing. I don't get sick of things. I can eat it every day for dinner and just be like, this is great. This is great.
Can't do that. I went to like this gym and they're like, yeah, I have a oatmeal with like protein powder every day. I tried to eat that one day and it was disgusting. I'm like, you ate this every day for 20 years? Like, is your tongue broken? Like, I can't.
Like my grandma has oatmeal with like an egg white on top. She cooks an egg white and puts it on top. And she's had that every day. Like, I could not tell you how long. Okay, let's get creative. What did you come up with today? I'm very curious.
Okay, so I came up with two things. I came up with one thing with the donut beads that I think you said you were gonna have next week, right?
Yeah. Hopefully by next week.
One thing with the do they call them hamsas when you buy them, or like
what do you I mean, when I buy them from the spot, it just says like hand, and I was just like, okay, that's a hamsa, at least in my from my tradition. Other traditions might call them something else.
So I have a design. I'm gonna zoom it in a little bit. Like, oops, that's a lot bit. All right, let's see.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow! I've seen someone make with the donuts in a while.
All right, I don't know how to make this better.
And for those joining, say hi. We already have 10 people on. Say hi. This is all just chit chatty. Like we want to say hi to you if you're here.
There we go.
Cool.
Can you see these okay? So these are the donuts with what is this? aventurine. I think I
Yeah.
got this from you a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, they do look familiar.
Trying to like put it in a spot with good light.
Here,
There we go. That's better.
I'll try the spotlight. I'll spotlight it for a second. Spotlight video.
I
Does
just
that
want
work
it
for
to be
everyone?
brighter. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Well, now this is in the
Hi,
dark. It looks great.
Nancy. All right, I'm spotlighting your overhead so we can see your beautiful earrings.
Cool. Is the light okay? There we go. That's better.
Yeah, don't stress
Is
about
that
it.
better?
You're all good.
I am stressing about it. I'm a perfectionist. You wouldn't know it, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So you have to like let things go sometimes. But yeah, so and then I use oxidized copper wire this time.
Oh, you use wire that was already oxidized?
Yes. Well, I pre-oxidize all my wire for the most part, except for like when I'm making ear wires, I oxidize them after. But in terms of wire, I usually just go ahead and oxidize it to begin with, especially because I use a lot of 26 gauge, and you don't want to like dip your components in why is this not staying? In liver of sulfur when I've already got like stones on them.
Right.
Totally damage the stones. I don't know what's up with this thing. All right. It's just gonna sag like that. Make me sad.
It's all good. We could see the earrings. Hi, Miranda. Just joined.
Oh, I got it. Okay, cool. Perfect.
And then what's the second pair? What did you make with the Hamza
so
charms?
I made an earring with, you can see it, the Hamza charm, and then like this little copper connector piece I made out of a piece of wire, and then Swarovski crystals, and this is a little turquoise like chip.
Will you give us here? I'll zoom it in, but will you give us I'll spotlight it. Will you give us a close up?
Yes.
Maybe on your fancy notepad background.
Pretty close. Oh, you want the notepad? I got you. I got you. Crystals never want to cooperate when you want them flat. There we go.
What did you say was on the top there?
This is turquoise. This is like
cool.
a tip of turquoise. So. Can you see it okay?
Yeah, it looks good. So I'm very curious how you made the center component. Is that what you wanted to show today?
Yeah, I'll show you how to do it. It's super easy. You want me to start?
Yeah, here.
Okay. I'm gonna zoom out.
Let me know when you want me to spotlight your overhead view.
You can do whenever you want. This
cool.
Is very out of center now. You did not tell me. Okay, cool.
I didn't notice, I promise.
All right, cool beans. Please stay where I put you. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna start with, this is not the tray. This is the tray. For the little copper, and I lost the earring. There we go. Little copper piece. I just made it out of a piece of wire. It's what gauge did I use? I think it's 12 gauge actually, copper wire. You can actually find this at the hardware store if you want it like immediately. Yeah, it's 12 gauge.
Welcome, Michelle Glancer. Cool.
And then I hammered it, and I will hammer it, but I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna use a metal hammer. It's gonna be a little bit louder than the last hammering. So.
Cool. See, this is where I'm supposed to fill the void with all sorts of commentary of how lovely Rachel is, and
is that too loud?
I mean, not in my ear. I think it's fine.
Okay, cool. So I'm just hammering it flat. This is not like a special hammer. I actually got this from like another art student when I was at art school. You could use like really whatever you want. Just make sure it's flat. You could use this, the backside of like a ball peen. Don't
Right.
use like,
I only own one hammer, Rachel.
yeah, you can use that. You can use the flat side.
Wait, I'm gonna make this with you. It was so fun last week when I was making with you.
Do you have 12 gauge wire?
No, but I have eight.
Just find
I
the
have
thickest one
18
you have.
gauge. Oh, wait. Here's something thicker. Wait. No, this is square wire. That's not thicker.
You could
I'm
hammer
like-
that.
But I don't think it's any thicker. So I'm just gonna. Oh, wait. No, that's 20 gauge. We're gonna have to go with 18 gauge. I'm gonna try. It might fail.
You can do it. It's just gonna be really thin.
Okay. Well, at least I'll just
Mine is a little thicker. I don't know if you
I'll just hammer metal. That just sounds fun itself, Rachel.
Yeah. So mine's all hammered and flattened out. I'm gonna kind of line it up with the other one. Ideally, you'd probably make these two at the same time. But I wanted to show you where are my good. So I put them away. No, okay. I don't like to don't use your flush cutters on this because at this point the metal is going to be super work hardened.
Okay.
And this is not like super thin at this point. It's definitely thinner than it was when I started, but so I'm just going to chop off the thinner end and then I'm going to kind of like measure it. Doesn't have to be exact, but I would like it to be close to exact.
Miranda says Sam only one hammer, but I think you're trying to say you think you were typing same only one hammer because that makes a lot of sense.
That's okay. I think a lot of people have the kind of hammer that you have, which I do have up right here. I actually have two of these. I have a lot of hammers. One of my friends teases me. She's like, "You want a hammer for your birthday, don't you?" I have like probably like 8 hammers, but you could also use a hammer from the hardware store for this. We're not doing anything fancy. We're literally just flattening it.
Now I wish I had thicker wire. I'm gonna have to go buy thicker wire.
You can get it from the hardware store. You can get it on Etsy, on wherever you buy wire.
I once bought a tube of copper, a solid copper tube for like plumbers.
Yeah.
And I just hammered it until it was like flat, and then I textured it, and then it was way too work hardened for me to actually bend it into a bracelet.
You can use that stove technique I taught you.
I am not advertising your stone technique.
Don't try this at home, but you can heat metal on a gas stove. I used to make my sterling silver ball pins on ball head pins on my gas stove before I got a torch, and then I just started buying them because who wants to make 100 ball head pins when you can buy them?
Yeah, but fire, I do.
Yeah, at some point you have to like if it's a hobby, that's cool. But if you're trying to like make a go of this, like at some point you've got to, I was telling you the other day, time is my biggest cost when it comes to pricing my jewelry. So anything I can do to cut down on time makes it more affordable and approachable for the customer. So I've got this piece hammered down. I got it cut down.
Cool.
And now I'm going to take, you can use a file. I'm going to use a piece of sandpaper. You can use like whatever sandpaper. This is actually metal sandpaper. I'm just going to kind of round the edges and also smooth the edges, because I definitely do not use flush cutters, or you could use metal shears if you have them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting on my tool chest, so I have the metal tools underneath me, and the wire cutters worked great. So
yeah, so I turned mine into the tiniest clasp ever.
Your wire? Why did you do that?
What? Oh, I turned my because it was too small to do anything with anyway. So I have the world's tiniest clasp now that I can make the world's tiniest bracelet in. Wait, has anyone made miniature jewelry?
Miniature jewelry? What do you mean?
You know how people just like will make miniatures of like anything, like a miniature like little table,
like for a Barbie,
a miniature like squirrel feeder. I don't know. Have you? That's a real thing. It's like a table, and there was like a bowl for it for food, and then like so like a squirrel could come to like its own little table and eat food at in your backyard.
So if anyone's made a squirrel necklace, let us know.
Welcome,
Yeah.
Amelia. Miranda said, "How do I only have one hammer?" And the answer to that is, I basically was like making jewelry all through high school, and then when I went off to college, like completely didn't make jewelry for basically 3 years straight while I was at Juilliard. So
Did you graduate?
no, I'm on a leave of absence right now.
Like, is everybody on a leave of absence, or is it just you? Or not
Anyone
just
who
you, but like.
I think a fair amount of people are, but no, anyone who wanted to continue with online classes could. I did not want to do that, and I've been having too much fun running the business that I just decided to take a leave, and that's until March.
Okay, I'm gonna cheat and pull my file out because I'm tired of using the sandpaper. I was trying to like do it with sandpaper, which you can, but I got too used to using my file and I don't like, and I'm not patient. So I'm gonna round this. But yeah, I was wondering that about you in school. I was like, he's really building the business. Like, what's gonna happen?
I know. I mean,
I'm
I
gonna
wanted
have to come to your apartment and help you. You're gonna have to store your beads here when you go back to school. No,
Deal.
I'm kidding. Don't store your beads here. Like my boyfriend's already like half moved in, and his stuff is everywhere. So
No, but it's I don't I hadn't connected the dots that if I could come back to New York, we could actually do like work together in New York.
we could bead together. I mean, I have enough space at this desk actually. Hopefully, my internet will be better by then, so we can both be on. But this table is it's like from IKEA, and it's like 4 feet. I can make space. That's fine.
That sounds like a one-person table.
No, I mean it's fairly large. I'm sitting in the middle of it right now, and you see like how much this isn't even like my bead mat. I could fit at least 4 or 5 more bead mats on here next to each other.
Well, okay, then you got a lot of projects. Space. Okay, I'm really chatty today, so I need to focus on actually learning something from your amazing mind.
So yeah, so I hammered the wire, I rounded the edges, and now I'm gonna take, where'd it go? You can use a Dremel or a drill if you want. If you're familiar with drilling metal, if you're not familiar with drilling metal and you want to do that, just make sure you take like a nail or something and like tap it so that you've got a place to anchor yourself when you're drilling. But you can also use a hole punch like this. I think Eurotool also makes one. This one does not have a brand on it. You can get it before you buy tools. I think I've seen them at Joann's. I know you can get them on Etsy. There's a lot of like tool sellers on there. Some of them actually have better prices than the big box stores. So I'm just gonna pick. Were you gonna say something?
No, I'm just catching up on making sure I'm not missing any comments.
Okay.
We're all good right now. If you're just joining, say hi. Tell us how your Saturday is going.
And know that I cannot see comments, so I'm not ignoring you. I promise. Sam's supposed to read them to me.
See, it says Michelle Spawn joined, Cheryl Zing, Crystal, Michelle Glancer. We have lots of lovely people who have now tuned in. For those just joining, Rachel is making a component out of solid copper wire that she's hammered flat and then hole punched. And then she's attached that to one of the Greek patina charms.
So yeah, I'm putting a hole kind of in the center. I'm not going to be too worried about it being centered because I think the off center looks kind of fun, and also you will drive yourself crazy making sure things are centered. And I think the part of the appeal of handmade jewelry is that it's a little bit quirky. It's fun. It's not something you would just buy at a store. Not that
Amelia.
With that.
Michelle says, hi, going well. Amelia says her Saturday's going great now that she knows it's Saturday because she messaged me earlier saying, where are the beads at? And I said, tomorrow. And I got a great cackle when she replied, oh, it's not Sunday.
Yeah, that would have freaked me.
So Amelia, thank you for that laugh today.
You would have freaked me out, Amelia. I would have been like, oh my God.
I would be freaking out because I don't have a single listing built for tomorrow. I'm gonna be up tonight, prepping.
Okay, so I've got my holes in this.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And also, that would just be a beautiful, like, long component for anything.
Yeah.
Just
so, and you could do it like straight up, but I initially, I actually had only done the hole in the middle, and it was just because I showed you when I was still working on it. It was just like too much copper, and I was like, I need some more something else, and I was like, well, obviously, I need some sparkle.
yeah, I think your phone camera. Sorry if I do not mean to interrupt you. Do you mind adjusting your phone camera? Just it got knocked down a bit, I think.
Oh.
Cool. Awesome.
What is going on here? It's from when I like moved it down, moved it back up. But you see?
Cool. Yeah.
You okay? That's in my face.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so then from there, so there's a way to take your wire and like thread it through both sides, but I actually just wire wrapped it twice, basically. So this is 24 gauge, of course. 24, 26, always. And I'm gonna thread it through actually I'm gonna do it in a different way this time, because the last time I made it, I had already built the earring and then I added the crystals, and that was a pain. So we're gonna do the crystals first. If you have tiny like headbands, tiny ball headbands, you can absolutely do that. For things this small, like these tiny crystals, I actually just kind of fold the end of the wire over. I like the look of it. I like that it's not too, can you see that? Oh, my fingers are too dark. Can you see that?
I mean, I can't see the crystals. I can tell that there is a crystal there, definitely.
There we go. You see the like little ball at the end? So it's not a ball. I just kind of folded the wire over a little bit at the end. And I do that a lot of the time with the crystals. So because I find like the ball headphones can take away from them. They could be like, especially with the small crystals, it's just like, they're the same size as the crystal. Let's see how many times I can say crystal.
Well, I think we have at least one person named Crystal watching right now.
Crystal, we love your name.
We have Crystal Hamlin. We have Crystal Bell Folkman. I think it's fantastic.
When I was little, I always wanted my name to be like Crystal or Jewel or, yeah, I think those are usually the names I picked.
I've always liked Ruby. I've always thought Ruby was a nice name.
Pretty. I also like the name Jade.
Yeah.
So I'm just wrapping this to just like a normal wire wrap loop.
You don't see like I've never heard like an amethyst or like moonstone. I mean, just like moonstone. Why? There's like a very specific list of acceptable
before Moonstone.
Well, what Beyonce's daughter, right, is Moon. No, Blue.
No. Is it
Blue? Oh, it's Blue, not Moon. There we go.
Yeah, that's worse.
Also, bad with pop culture. Don't call me out if I'm wrong. I mean, but don't be mad.
You know what also has the name Blue is a velociraptor in Jurassic World.
Random.
We were watching it the other day.
Amazing.
But I've been playing Zoo Tycoon too, so I've got like velociraptors on the brain because I had to get the version with the dinosaurs. There's like no point if you can't throw the people into the T-Rex thing when they're angry.
Shara says, our name conversation. I've heard amethyst as a name and have a pearl in her class this year.
Oh yeah, Pearl. I had like a great aunt or something named Pearl.
Okay, that's been around for a while. Also, like character on SpongeBob. So there's that.
All right. That's where that name really came from right now.
Of course. Welcome, Maria. It doesn't tell me everyone who joined. So if you're joining,
say hi.
Let me know. Say hi.
And know that only Sam can see the comments.
But
Not
I'm
me.
relaying all of them.
Yes, yes. I just want them to know I'm not ignoring them. There's a reason why you're saying hi first.
Let's see. Shara, we have more fun comments from Shara. I've had a student named Diamond and another named Emerald in the past,
Ooh, I love
but
the
her
name
nickname
Emerald.
was Emmy. Lame.
That's
Oh,
so cute. No, it's
but you
cute. I
wait,
love
but
it.
not. But I love that there's a short version, like there's a nickname for a gemstone name. That's great.
I met a girl once, her name was Phoenix, and she had the coolest hair. And then I was like, what if my name was Phoenix? That would be so cool.
Are you disappointed with the name Rachel? I feel like you already told me this.
I already told you that there's too many people with my name, and my mom named me after her cousin Robin, and I'm like, you couldn't have named me. You couldn't have named me Robin. Like it's 1993. Everyone's named Rachel.
My sister's name is Rachel, for those that don't know.
Yes, see.
Hi,
Like
Becky.
Robin. I don't
Welcome.
know any Robins my age. That would have saved me so much trouble in school.
Yeah, I don't know Robins. We have a few Robins in the group.
But it's interesting that I feel that way about my name, but your name is Sam, and there are arguably more Sams than there are Rachels, probably.
I do hear a lot of Sam. I don't, but like randomly, I hear Sam's.
Like it doesn't
Very.
bother you, which I guess is good.
Oh, I love meeting other people named Sam. It's like my there's a
No.
cellist at school named Sam, and I'm just like, yo, Sam, what's up?
Interesting. Okay, so I've got you see the,
Yeah, let me
yeah.
spotlight that really quick so we can see the final.
When I move the phone
I'm
down,
slowly getting better at this
big
Zoom
setup.
stuff. Okay, so we've got our bar. You have it connected on either side, and then cool.
And now I'm
Simple
gonna
enough.
I'm gonna build the top part of the earring now. Just the turquoise chip I've got. I think you have, I don't know how big they are, but you have like some turquoise chips in the shop, don't you?
They just sold out, but I got
You should get more people are really loving that turquoise. I find it
yeah.
hard to find turquoise, especially like from places I trust.
Well, that's why I've been
Because you know
stalked it for so long. Like, because I felt the same way. I was like, I will only absolutely buy this from someone like absolutely could trust. So I have like one person who I've been buying from for years who's now
there's
been
so much
stalking
like
it.
fake turquoise. It's expensive too, so I'd be like so mad if I bought it and I found out it was fake. I'd be like,
Yeah. The turquoise that I'm posting now is the same person who sold me the Hubei turquoise.
that's how you say it?
Oh,
No,
back to this
I'm
conversation.
asking.
Couldn't tell you. I've read everything digitally for years.
Yeah, me too. And I'm like, I'm really bad about mispronouncing things because I read fast and I tend to insert letters where there aren't letters. So like when I was reading.
Did you know so I was researching the word tourmalinated the other day because I sell tourmalinated quartz, but there's people use it both ways. You can also say tourmalated as well as tourmalinated.
That's too many syllables. We're not going with that word. I'm not doing it, Sam.
It's not happening. Don't know.
Yeah, no, I can't. Too many letters and I just give up. I'm like, I don't know. Give me a nickname.
So while you're working on that, do you want me to do a little? I can show a little bit of what I've been working on.
Oh yeah, go for it. I'm just wrapping this. I will say that there is a way to. I said this already. A way to wrap it where you don't have to wrap it in like two separate loops. But I like to do it this way. It's just like a personal preference, and I'm not very good at the other way. So that's mostly where the personal preference comes from. But I would love to see what you've been working on.
Oh my god, I totally can't do two things at once and didn't hear everything you just said because did not know to start my camera from my phone.
What if it wasn't for you? I'm just kidding. I said there's a way to wrap this to where you can only use one. You can use one wire and go through the hole twice. But I find that way to be like kind of difficult to get things to look the way I want it to. So I'm gonna wrap it like this on the top and on the bottom. I'm using 24 gauge wire, and then this hole punch is, I don't know if you can see that, 1.25 millimeters. You can get them in different sizes, but this is the one I have. I have a slightly larger one too, but this is the one I'm using, and now let's see what you're working on.
Shara says, agreed, Rachel, so hard to trust with turquoise. And Becky says, I like those patina coins. I think the donuts you have there.
Yes, these are from you from forever ago. And you said you have them coming next week, right?
Well, or hopefully. I ordered them with the last batch. I ordered with the batch of green patina that went up last week and going up this weekend. But like, they didn't send me any of the donut coins. They were out. So they said they just made more. So here's what I just threw together. Can
you make it the big one? Yes.
Like this?
Okay, great. Yes, like that. I forgot what the word was.
Spotlight. Can you make it the big one? Here's the big one. Yeah. Okay. I feel like my lighting. I'm using my white.
Put the twisty thing we made in there.
Okay. I'm so glad you picked that up, Rachel. So last week Rachel taught like, well, I mean, what I sort of call it like a figure 8 type coin.
Yeah,
infinity. Infinity wrap.
Mm-hmm.
You made a whole necklace of this. Wait, let's see. Let me unspotlight me. Give me a sec.
I did make a whole necklace of it. I might make a series of them. I don't know, but I want to try in sterling. But this is gonna be a lot of wire in sterling, so I don't know if I'm going to. You're still spotlighted.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh wow, I love it. I love it in copper. Apparently, I'll do this.
I just connected. I just made a hook, and oh, that is bad lighting. All right. Notepad. Forgot about it. I just made a hook, and then I put another appetite on it, and then it's just connected to one of the loops. I didn't even make like another end of the. I didn't really make an eye because all of the connectors were already basically eyes. So.
Oh, that is a beautiful piece.
Thank you.
Love that. So, inspired from Rachel last week, I started working on this bracelet because I just liked. Anyway, I want to play around with some of the specialty check that I got in, which is just like a limited time stock step flower, and it's bigger. I think.
Pretty.
I think it's bigger than the normal flowers. Yeah, I think it's like almost 20. It's like 18 millimeter. So they're just. It's nice to have more of like a statement check bead.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought that blue happened to like look really nice with
the lighter blue for the like turquoise one.
With the Greek patina beads.
Mm-hmm.
See, can you see that? My light's so dark. Okay. And then I paired it with, this is the 10 millimeter wood I have posted.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That one's the dark. That's the dark wood.
Yeah, that's the darker wood. And it has a really nice finish. So I thought I liked that combo, and then I found some little copper spacer beads in the stash that I liked, and I just like the whole combo together.
I think it's pretty.
So, I mean, right now I'm on the track to make it a bracelet.
Okay.
Here's an idea I want to run by you about the length.
Okay.
So at the current length, including the clasp, we're at 6 inches, almost 6 inches.
Okay.
So we're starting to enter the territory of like wrist sizing, right? 6 to 7.5 inches.
Yes.
Does that sound right, or mostly right?
I think so. I'm gonna be honest. I'm rusty on bracelets. I haven't made them in so long. I took like a very long beading hiatus between like moves. So I haven't made bracelets in a while, but I believe
someone watching, pop in the comments.
6 to 8 inches of bracelet range usually.
Yeah. So my idea is I have a connector currently at the end, but I want to add on to it. So I'm going to add some more, pick a few more beads to add on. probably some
Okay.
more of the patina beads. And then I think I'll make one more of the loopy loop connectors.
Okay.
So that way there's one here and
Mhm.
one here.
Yeah.
And that way you can either hook it up to either, but depending on your wrist size. I mean,
Mhm.
this seems tiny, so that's going to be too tiny. But there's the option if your wrist is really small,
Yeah.
or if here, Shara says, oh, we have a lot of comments I totally just missed. Michelle Spawn says you should make that one an anklet. Oh, this one.
Oh, that would be cute. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever made an anklet before.
It's like a really big bracelet.
Or is it a really small bracelet? No. Oops.
No, ankle's definitely bigger than wrist in most cases.
Okay. I've never studied my ankle, so this is a good fact.
Well, next time you have a bracelet, try to put it on your ankle.
Becky says I wear a 7-inch bracelet, but a friend that wears up to an 8. Shara says 7 1/4 is standard. 6.75 to 8 inches is the range.
Awesome.
Unless it's a special order for smaller or larger. That makes sense. So yeah, so that's my current design. So just check wood and the Greek metal beads. So maybe I'll work on that a little bit while let's go back to you.
Bring it back to me because I messed up on my loop. I was trying to use too small of a wire and it looked bad. It looked so bad. I took it off. I'm always trying to be like thrifty about using my wire, and like only when I get to like the end though, it's like wire chicken. And we call that, I do cross stitch too, and on the group they're like, I played thread chicken. I tried to like, it's a lot easier with thread, let me tell you. But so I'm redoing that loop.
Are you using, let's see. We have,
Am I using
Susan, we have more sizing comments. Susan uses a 1-inch extender chain.
oh, for bracelets? That's a good idea. Bracelets are something that like everyone
Michelle thinks
ranges so much, I feel like. Well,
sorry, what was the last thing?
No, it's okay. What did Michelle say? I'm sure Michelle's comment is better than mine on that.
Michelle says, yeah, repeat the same sequence you have on the other side of the 2 blue flowers. Okay, so my goal for this piece is I did not want to have any symmetry in it. Like,
oh, really?
I was going to do like 2 of the blue beads, and then
can we see
that's
it again?
I won't spotlight it, but I'll hold it up. So it's meant to be, I wanted it random, or to feel random. So I'm just going to do, like, I think I want to put like 2 of the Greek beads together, like.
So I will say that one side, are you gonna put the Greek beads to the other side of the flowers away from the clasp? I can't really.
I was gonna put more on this side.
How do I make it bigger? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay. No, that's good. Because if you right now without those, it's a little bit unbalanced.
Yeah.
I like the idea of making it not at all symmetrical.
Yeah. Amelia is asking about video about how to make the clasp on your necklace.
Oh, on my necklace. Where did it go? Oh. So maybe that's a video we can film, Sam, because this clasp, I'll try to refine it. So basically I made like, I was making the loop, which we made last week in the live. And then instead of looping all the way around, I like brought the wire back, and like, can you see like the end?
Yeah.
So I like brought the wire back, and then I wrapped it, in a smaller gauge wire, and wrapped.
And did you do this? Did you do the wrap where you went in more of like a shoelace type wrap? Or no, that's not how, you know, the one where it goes in and out around like a figure 8 going around the 2 ends of the wire? tell me about how you wrapped it. That's what I'm curious about.
No, it's cool. Let me see. Where do I have any of this flyer out? I can probably like really quickly. Is this 18? Yes. So
Also, I'm very curious if you guys like this setup more, because last week it was just Rachel and I right on Facebook Live, but this time I somehow figured out how to send our Zoom meeting to the group, which I think is very magical. I'm just praying that it's working. I know it's just being really, really nice.
So I have my round nose pliers. I'm just gonna quickly do what we did last week, basically. So I start my loop.
Ooh, wait, I'm gonna join you. Hold on. How long did you cut your wire? 5, 6 inches?
I didn't measure it. I just kind of like cut a piece off. Just make sure you have enough, basically.
Okay.
So I did the first loop. You remember how to do that, and I'm gonna go to do the second loop. But instead of wrapping, I stuck my pliers in at the end, and then I wrapped back around. Can you see that? So
where did you deviate from?
So after I did the first loop, I went to go do the second loop, but instead of wrapping, I took it off the pliers. And now I like stuck my little round of rust pliers in there, and I like looped around that, and I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
I'm just using my fingers, and then I grabbed what I just did, and I definitely didn't cut enough wire, so next time cut more.
I definitely cut too much.
That's okay. I mean, like, this is enough. It's just now I got to use my other pliers instead of my fingers, which I don't like to do. So, and then I just wrapped it kind of like we did before. And cut it.
Can you walk me through wrapping it back? So I'm at the step. Let me see if I can show.
So, but this is what it looks like. And you can kind of like play with how open this is. I just
my sister just tried to FaceTime me. Hold on.
Just throw that one out. We'll get a new one.
Rachel. Okay. Here's what I have so far. I got to the step where I bent it back.
Why is one of your loops so much bigger than the other one?
Because I wanted it that way.
Okay. I thought you were making it exactly like me. That's why I was like, that doesn't look like mine.
No, I already failed that task. This is why I'm not in school anymore.
All right. So I started like we did the last one. Can you see this?
Here,
I went around.
I'm gonna spotlight you.
I got this, and I just did what I said not to do. Not going well today. Like my hands
or today's going great.
Okay, so here's my loop, and then I'm gonna put it on the pliers. Go back the other way, like the figure eight, like we had last time. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then hold it off the pliers. Loop looks fine. Okay, so I pulled it off the pliers, and what did I do? Oh, I remember. Okay. So I took little round nose pliers. You can use the tips of your other ones. I just like my little ones, and I wrapped around like that. You see?
Yeah, you just went back the other direction. Okay.
Okay, and then let me shape it. Flatten this a little bit, and then you just kind of, if you're going to push the wire in the other direction with your hands, if you want. And then once you have it as far as you want to go, grab it with the pliers and you can twist.
Oh, so you did yours pretty right against itself. Okay.
Yeah, but you can spread it out a little bit. When I think the first time I made it, it was not as, no, it was still fairly against itself. I didn't get it, for some reason the first time I didn't get it as smooth right there. But if I was gonna wrap this, I'd probably wrap the apatite down here then, or you can still spread it apart. You just don't wrap it as tight or.
Let's see. Here's what I have going.
There you go.
I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
So I use some flat nose to pinch where I turn the wire around.
Yeah.
And then
that's pretty. I like it with the small loop.
And then I've been holding it with chain nose to help keep it in place as I bend it around. Is that sort of what you were doing?
Yeah, and then once I got to the other loop, I wrapped it like we did on the Infinity. I'm not like a clasp maker extraordinaire. I just kind of like wing it when I need one. But and then I just use the loop, the little Infinity loop as the eye. So basically, you just want to make sure like whatever you bead on there that it fits through. And then I had wrapped it with the 26 gauge wire and the apatite because I wanted it to be cohesive.
Nice.
Yes.
Cool. Finishing mine up.
Hopping back to my other earring, by the way.
Cool. So here's the clasp I ended up with. I think I totally, I mean, it feels like it's missing something. So I like definitely want to try, maybe I'll try adding on. Yeah, I just like, it feels like it has like the double wire, like, and why? Like, so I mean, it's the perfect opportunity to add something.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I wrapped it with another wire is because I also didn't want the wires to end up separating. I wanted them to stay together. Where did the one? Where's the cute one go? Here's the cute
I accidentally broke a strand of the 3x5 sapphire check.
Oh.
So, oh no.
Now you get to use it.
Oh no.
So no, now you have to keep it.
Oh, enough beads fell on the floor that I was about to go looking for those. So I said, remove from inventory by strand. Is anyone else making with us today? I'm very curious. Oh, my computer's falling. Great. Okay. Because I know last week some people were creating along with, and then Cheryl Zink I loved posted during the live something she made with what you taught in the live last week.
Cute. I loved it. I think she used a little bit of a smaller gauge, and it was really pretty the way she did it. It's like really versatile.
Cheryl Zink used, for those who didn't see, made the infinity loops and then wrapped a fair amount with a smaller gauge.
I love like messy wraps like that. I love it.
Oh, totally.
I'm a very big messy bun person. I love messy style that is intentional. Messy, not intentional, not my favorite, but messy, intentional love.
Shira's organizing, creating right now, and Amelia's asking, I think she says, I'm trying to create, if I think that's what she's answering, what gauge are you using?
Which?
Let's see. So Rachel was using for the hammering technique 12 gauge, right? And then
yes, and then for the clasp with the infinity loops, we're using 18 gauge, and right now for all my looping I'm using 24 gauge. But nice. I think I said to someone the other day, like with wire gauge, I'm mostly self-taught. I'm really am self-taught in terms of wire wrapping and spec soldering. I had a little bit of instruction, but
yeah.
For me, it's just kind of whatever feels like it's working. So if you start working with a certain gauge, like, and it doesn't feel right to you, switch to a different gauge. The only reason I really know what gauges things are is so that if I need to recreate something. But it's like how you like the look, how it feels. There's no like really right or wrong thing. The only thing I would say is slightly an exception maybe is ear wires, just that you have a thick enough wire that's strong enough that won't get too bent. But for everything else, like, you just want to think about durability, what you want the design to look like, and how it feels in your hand. If you can't maneuver the wire, like, it's going to be really hard to love the design you're working on if you don't feel like you have any control over it. So
Right.
use what feels right to you. And if we're ever showing you something on here and you don't have that gauge, work with what you've got. But yeah, if you're doing a hammering component, you do want to have a little bit of a thicker gauge.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some of that. I want to try that.
Yeah,
that
I got
hammering
some really
technique.
thick wire at like the hardware store. They have it. I don't remember what section they had it on, but you can buy it on Etsy. I'm not familiar with Monster Slayer, but you said you got a bunch of wire there, so you can probably get
Yeah, they have really good just like bulk. You can buy your wire in like really large quantities from them. Like I
I
get
tried
really.
to look at it on my phone, but their website was not very phone friendly.
Oh, their website's horrible, but once you like if you're on the desktop, you can get to what you need and just like you really have to read the photos are terrible and everything. So just
Damn, I messed up.
I'm trying to wrap and I'm trying to get a wrap
I'm
going
bad
on
at
this
talking
class.
and making jewelry at the same time.
Oh.
I mess up like every time. I
I
made my loop and I didn't connect it to anything, and now I gotta redo it.
oh my goodness.
This is another reason why I'm using copper right now. I'd be so mad if this was silver. Like, be like, you're just wasting all that silver.
Yeah, I tried to start a
wrap
wrap.
right now. I'd be so mad.
I tried to add a secondary wrap to the clasp and it's not staying. So I think I need to use your anchor technique and anchor it to the base loop.
Yeah. I promise I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 17 years.
It's all experimentation anyway. Like that's what I really like about your style also is you're just willing to try things.
This like little bar thing, I just did this earlier. Like I was just like, I need something. Oh,
yeah.
I actually have like a bunch of little bars I had cut from a piece that I had tried to what's the word? Oh, I forgot what the word is. You know, like rivet. I tried to rivet some like beads together, and they were glass beads, and I totally shattered like 2 of them. So I took it apart, and then so I have all like these little. I was like, these pieces are kind of cute, these little copper pieces. So I
you had to take the whole piece apart.
I did take the whole piece apart. I wanted the beads for something else. I'm like, if I'm not going to use it like this, well, I was trying to make earrings out of it, and I ended up making a pendant because one of them went great. And then the pendant was just like sitting around, and I couldn't find like a chain I liked it on, so I had it on like a cord, and I hated it. So I decided that I wanted to have the beads for something else. And
repurpose.
Yeah. You know, sometimes that's okay too.
Oh my god, is this actually
okay
working? This wrap, I'm finally getting the wire to stick.
Yay!
Using the anchor actually. So Rachel
That's
talked
about. I
about.
do it.
Yeah. So Rachel, I mean, my anchor is a little loose, but I think I'll be able to get it. With the clasp, Rachel talks about wrapping around
the
like
ear wires.
on the ear wire video about wrapping around the base loop before then going up to wrap on beads.
I like to make sure things are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
That's like one of my worries, that things are going to go places and then I'm going to have to fix things from people. And I don't like that. I feel like it makes me seem like I don't know. Introducing a theme, I like to know that I know what I'm doing. My favorite subjects in school were always the ones where I knew everything. Like I already know this. Next thing. I was great at math, and I was like, everything with math. Let's do that.
Yes. there weren't that strict of requirements for math in high school. So like I was always good at math, but I just never did that much math. Like what level did you end for math? Do you remember?
So I will say I did not do well at calculus. My calculus teacher was awful. When she did one-on-one, she was great, but like I didn't have time for that. I didn't have time to stay every day after school and do one-on-one. But like in a group setting, she's not that great. She's a very nice lady though. She totally passed me. She did me a big favor. But I took AP statistics. That was my last math I ended on. But did you have, you're younger than me, so they had like, did you do like the math 1, math 2 thing, or is that just like a Georgia thing?
Well, so when I was in high school is when they were phasing in Common Core stuff.
Yeah.
Like teachers were still learning kind of exactly what it was. So like I only had to deal with that a little bit. I phrase that because I don't know if they like it now or not, but
I definitely tried to like do that with kids I was babysitting before. I'm like, no, do it this way. Do it this way. This way's bad. Don't do the way they taught you. Do the way I'm doing it. Like, I can't help you otherwise. Like, there's no way.
Oh my god. Yeah. So I was in arts high school, so
lucky duck.
I loved being at arts high school, but I mean, this academics were still fairly strict. I did pre-cal my junior year and then independent study for my senior year. So I didn't end up doing more math.
One art teacher, she only taught drawing and she also collected cockroaches. That's just a side note, mostly because she was not very nice. So I'm going to include her weird habit.
But Shira, we love teachers if you're still watching. I love teachers. So many of my teachers.
I love teachers. I have teacher friends. That teacher I did not love. I'm Facebook friends with teachers I had. Like,
my geometry teacher was great. She did a whole week. At the end of her geometry class, every year she would do a financial literacy week. She's like, here's how to write a check. Here's how a bank account works. She would just go through like every step.
How many times have you written a check since then, Sam?
Well, I mean, I'd already been writing checks. I'd already had the shop, but like,
but just like the checkbook.
Oh yeah, love it. Hey, Shara, I love my teachers. She says, sure.
No, I do. I love teachers. I could name like at least 5 teachers I love. So
I mean, a good teacher can just make such an impact.
Yeah, I went to school in Georgia, which is not really known for academics. So other than the school I went to had very nice teachers, but like the teachers just put through a lot. They weren't paid well at all. So actually I can't think of any teacher like I really didn't like in high school. Yeah, no. There wasn't anyone I really didn't like. There were some I liked better than others. But.
Yeah, I mean, I just had that the arts high school must have just attracted just a really wide variety of personalities because I just had some like total wacko teachers that I just adored like so much.
I love wacko teachers. That's the best.
Miranda says this year is going to be a challenge for teaching. I teach middle/high school science.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, at least your kids can read.
Why are we talking about that report that came out?
No, I was talking like, imagine how hard it would be to like online school kindergartners. That's gonna be a nightmare.
Right. Shara says she teaches 6th to 8th social studies and 6th grade ELA.
What is ELA?
I definitely like knew what that stood for. Shara, will you tell us, remind us again? She'll pop in very shortly. We're of a lag, so nothing's instant on this.
Yeah.
I have a guess, but I really just, again, like you, I do not want to be wrong, so I'm not going to say it out loud.
ESL? I don't know.
English and literature.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Those were like Shara. 2 of my favorite subjects.
I loved science classes. I had the most amazing chemistry teacher who also I took astronomy with.
Because it was math.
Interesting. Yeah, I liked it.
It was math. I did great.
in my chem class, we had to make up our own. We're totally on a tangent. So like, glad some people are still watching.
I finished the earring. Like,
Wait, show us, and then I'll keep talking about science.
I didn't put an ear wire on it. I've got to figure out where I put them. But yeah, no, I finished it. It's just like this. It's just like the other one.
I just love. Oh, and I don't think I asked you about the polishing that you did.
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you about that. Okay, so for this pair, I was just kind of like playing around. Sometimes I feel I love buying components, but sometimes I feel like I really need to make them more my own. So for these ethos beads charms, they're copper plated, right? And then they have the patina over it. So I just lightly sanded them to bring out some of the copper. So literally, I'm gonna do the back because I don't know if I want the fronts of all of them done. I literally just like placed it down and I like barely put any pressure. And then I just like went back and forth. I told you. Can you hear the cat? I told you the cat was coming.
Adorable. Adorable.
But see, I just barely sanded it and exposed some of the copper. You don't want to do it too much because.
Yeah, Rachel and I were just chatting. Do we have kitties? I don't
know where he is. I hear him. Oliver, you gonna bring it to me? Come on, bring it to me. Oh, the other cat came out. He's like, "What are you doing? You woke me. You're too loud." Hi, Marauder. Hey, buddy. Oh yeah, he definitely got woken up. He's got sleepy eyes and everything. Hey.
Kitty.
Oliver's mad. He's like, "You're not playing with me."
Oh, your cat seemed very sweet.
He's tired. He's like, you really got woken up by Oliver screaming. You okay? You gonna go? Okay, bye.
Oh, so I was saying that with those, Rachel and I were talking about with those patina components, it's totally fine to sand them a bit if you like just want to tone down the amount of patina on it, or just want to. I think you added a little shine when you did it, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it took the patina. There we go. So this is the one I sanded a little bit, and this one is the one I didn't.
Oh, I'm still on that spotlight, so that's fine. It's showing. Cool.
But then for the front, for example, I don't know if I want to sand all the fronts right now, but so this is the earring. Where's my camera? There we go. This is the earring that I sanded, and this is charms that I did not sand. So.
Yeah, so it has, so it looks, at least in this lighting, that it has a slight shine when you after you polished it.
The copper's exposed.
Yeah. So to finish that point,
I use like raw copper in the earrings.
Right. No, it's totally fine. If you do sand those, which I think is a great idea, like if you guys try that, just be sure not to sand too much because it's just a copper plate over the base metal. So I could do a test one day and figure out how thick it is, but just be aware that we don't want to lose the really nice copper plate on top.
Yeah.
Miranda says we're in hybrid mode, so teaching in person and simultaneously teach the kids at home. Wow. I just say thank you to you right now for everything you're doing.
Y'all are the real rock stars.
Truly. And Becky says, kitty boy.
Yeah, they're sweet. They probably want dinner too. They're as soon as 6 o'clock hits, they start begging for dinner. They don't eat until 8:30 or 9, but they're like, it's getting close.
Time.
Mother, don't forget.
How old are they?
Oliver is. I don't know if I can go get him. Oliver, you want a treat? Get off the table. What's a treat? Oliver is 4. You want a treat? And Marauder is 3. You want a treat? Come here. You want a treat? Treat. This is before dinner snack. Oliver, you want a treat? Come here. Come here. You want this? Oh, good boy. Come here. Wow. So this is the loud one.
On your bead table. Adorable.
He's not allowed up here, but I'm trying to get him to look at you, but he's not doing it. Buddy, look up. He's like, where's the food?
It's like, I only see beads. These are not pleasing to me.
Oliver, look up. He's got beautiful eyes. If he would look at you, he's getting like, he doesn't really like to be held. There you go. You see his eyes? He's beautiful.
Oh, he's beautiful.
He's very unhappy now. He's like, I need more food. Keep him. Up. Good boy. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He does tricks. The other one's the sweetest kitty. He's not very smart. He doesn't do tricks.
I saw someone walking their cat this week.
Yeah, no, I tried that once. I had to hold them the whole time. Well, Oliver will kill you if you try to take him out of the house. Marauder, he's like, I'm not walking. You're just gonna have to carry me. But of course, I don't try that now that we're like in the city. I'm like, I don't want my own feet touching this ground, let alone yours. Like,
and then going,
stand on my bed. It's harder to wash their feet. They'll kill you. So.
Yeah, we have to tell you about that sometime. How one cleans a cat properly.
You hold the scruff on the back of their neck and hope for the best. But you can't get their ears wet, because you'll hurt them and you'll have to take them to the vet. So. Oliver's great. Oliver like knows that no matter what horrible thing I'm putting him through, like if he sits still, it'll be done faster. Like, so I put him, he'll struggle before you put him in the bath. As soon as he gets wet, he's just like, and he lets you watch him. Marauder, you gotta hold him by the back of the neck, like
amazing.
Otherwise you're gonna be like shredded.
Well, today was tangent day.
Yeah,
we're very chatty, so I loved it, but we'll come up with some more for next week.
Yeah.
And also I probably have some people on to teach some other techniques. I don't know who yet, but
we should do if I'm going to be on the next week or anyone, you should announce like maybe tomorrow or something. We can announce what components we'll be working with, and then everyone can kind of, if they want to do something.
Sorry, I totally didn't hear you.
No, dear. I was saying next week including the live, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to announce, like, we could talk about it, like a component that maybe we could work with, or like a particular stone, not necessarily a specific cut, but maybe like a particular stone, and then everyone can like post their designs in the comment or something.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I want to get people more involved, so we will definitely try that out. Alrighty, I think we should call it a day.
Sounds great. Thanks
for joining, everyone.
Thanks for coming on. Bye. Thanks for listening to me talk about my cat.
I loved it. I'm gonna go hang out with hopefully he's here. My best friend dog next door, Bodhi. I love him. Alrighty. Bye everyone.
Bye. Have a good week.